This presentation on Aperture card scanners, 6 steps to a successful digitizing project, is brought to you by MES Hybrid. Aperture card scanners are machines that scan the contents of Aperture cards and produce a digital file. These types of cards are popular for archiving data. An Aperture card is a punch card that has a microfilm chip affixed to a cutout window. Usually 35 millimeters tall, the microfilm chip contains a reduced image of a reference document. An example might be an engineering drawing. Although still used in many archiving projects, a greater number of organizations prefer to digitize Aperture cards to provide a duplicate format for an entire replacement. Using Aperture card scanners for digitizing project requires carefully following 6 typical steps. Retrieve your cards. Although a basic step, it's still an important part of the process. Make sure you locate the cards you want digitized and retrieve them from storage. Transport them to where you'll be using your Aperture card scanners. Too often, companies assume they know where certain Aperture cards are stored. When it comes time to organize the cards for scanning, office staff can't find them and time is wasted tracking them down. It's better to know early in the project if you'll need to bring in extra staff to find all the Aperture cards for your project. Assess the condition of your cards. Aperture card scanners can efficiently automate the digitizing process. However, cards in poor condition or not made to industry standards could cause delays in your production. If Aperture cards were produced during different time periods, industry standards may have been interpreted differently. The various interpretations could affect the end result and thus the digital formats produced by the Aperture card scanners. Examples of issues affecting scanning may include magnification ratios, resolutions, film densities, image contrasts, image centering, and more. Evaluate your scanned images. After using Aperture card scanners, you need to make sure you have the quality digital images. Further work may be necessary, such as cropping and sizing images or removing specks caused by dirt on the film. Use meaningful indexing. Once your files are converted to a digital format, you will be able to index them for easy retrieval. But you need to decide on a structure to simplify the process as much as possible. For example, you need to coordinate the source of the index information, such as database on the document. Decide on the file format. When scanning with Aperture card scanners, you can output your images to a variety of digital file formats. Common formats include PDF and TIFF. Then you need to determine what to do with your cards. Depending on the content, many companies may keep them as another form of backup. However, storage requires proper environmental conditions. You also need to consider security and cost in your cost-benefit analysis. If you decide to dispose of your cards, careful planning needs to become part of the project. Using Aperture card scanners with these 6 steps can help provide a formal process for your project and identify requirements. Companies need to understand the impact on staffing and budget resources before any project begins. About the author. Kevin Darcy is a VP of Sales and Marketing for MES Hybrid Document Systems, Ontario's leading document scanning and document management supplier. For more information about Aperture card scanners, you can visit us at mesltd.ca.